Hello everybody, I thought it was time for another update. Oh, that sounds really bad in the background there, that's a bit better. I'm going to the specialist tomorrow to see if any healing has been happening in my pelvis, because there actually hasn't been recently, which has been a bit disappointing. However, I'm still remaining positive, and lots of prayers and meditation and stuff to try and get this healing happening. I think it is healing, but we will find out tomorrow. It certainly does feel better, but yeah, prayers and well wishes and healing energies are very much welcome. I have gone to a New Age healer, I think is the correct term, or New Age massage guy, and he is amazing. He's really gotten into some muscle issues that I've been having, and some nerve issues and things. I've also been having, a lot of you don't know, but I've been having really bad migraines almost every day, where I actually lose feeling in my left hand and the left side of my face, and it's really quite scary. Sometimes I lose my vision completely, and I get really bad headaches and feel sick and all the things that come with migraines. So I went to a new doctor today, and she gave me some tablets that will hopefully stop. She thinks it's just from sitting around and not moving my back and my neck in the normal way, because I'm not allowed to walk, and it's just caused some issues there. So hopefully these tablets will stop that. I've only got to take one a day, so hopefully I can wake up. It's actually really scary to go to sleep at night, because most mornings I wake up with a bad migraine. It's scary to sit in some seats because they give me migraines. It's it's not really quality of life at the moment. So hopefully these pills will work. And people that know me know that pills are a last resort. I don't normally like taking them, but sure, it's got to be better than this. So I'm really hoping that works. I've been into my herbal stuff to help with bone healing, so really hoping that tomorrow they don't want to operate, because that frightens me a little bit. There's a lot of people that have had these operations where they pin their pelvis back together and it fails, and they end up worse than they were before. There's a lot of risk involved, I guess, in any operation, but I don't really want a life where I have to rely on other people for the bare things of life, I guess. So I'm really praying that I don't need surgery, and that it started to heal and they're going to leave it alone and let it do its thing. But anyway, we'll find out tomorrow, so I will give you an update, but this is just like a quick update, because I know some of you are wondering how I'm going. Haven't heard from me on YouTube for a while, so I thought I'd just update you all. The plan is still to do a triathlon as soon as I am able to start training and all that sort of stuff. Well, obviously I want to train for a few months before I do one, but yeah, the plan is still to do that. Who knows how long this healing journey is going to take. I certainly hope that I'm near the end, but yeah, it's really up to my body and the healing. And of course the people tomorrow. I really am hoping that they'll do another x-ray and say, look, it started to heal, and we're just going to leave it and do its thing, and see you in another 6 weeks and do another x-ray, and hopefully it's all healed and I can start physio, and everything will fall into place, hopefully. I do have to see a neurologist as well for these migraines, because I do have some neuro issues that come with osteopetrosis in my case, so that has to happen. But I'm not too worried about that. They've already done some CT scans and stuff like that, and nothing's really shown on them, so I think it is just that the muscles are all a bit tense and in the wrong spot because I'm not walking around and stretching those muscles like I normally would before I had the accident. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I said, I have been doing massage. Chiropractic isn't really practical at the moment because I'm broken still. I still have broken ribs and I still have the broken pelvis. So a lot of the therapies like chiro aren't really practical at the moment. And if I settle the muscles down, hopefully that'll settle the bones back into position anyway. But yeah, so I've got some natural spray, some cell salts that help with the muscles, and I've got my Panadol Osteo, which helps with the pain a bit, takes the pain away from the migraines and stuff as well. And yeah, these new tablets and some probiotics to help with my tummy because I get irritable bowel as well. So hopefully I'll be back on track and things will be looking up rather than stagnant like they have been. I've been getting some interesting sensations since the massage in my broken pelvis. It's sort of like ants are crawling all over it, which is apparently a healing type sensation, which I really hope that it is. Before the massage sessions, I didn't really feel, it didn't feel broken, it didn't feel anything, like I wasn't in pain or anything, unless I obviously put too much weight on it, or like sleep on it or something. Obviously I'm not allowed to put any weight on it and walk on it, but if I moved it the wrong way or whatever, it would hurt. But apart from that, it didn't really feel any different to my non-broken one. So now it does. It feels like I said, like ants are sort of crawling on it. It's not really painful or uncomfortable, it's just something I notice. And in meditation, I can see the bones being welded together, so that's pretty good. So I really hope that together with my herbal medicines and the spiritual healing and the massage and everything else I've been doing, the mindfulness and all that sort of stuff, is going to bring about some healing. And also I've had some people as well as myself praying for me, so that all helps. So thanks for that, and hopefully tomorrow I will have some good news. I'm not sure when I will actually do another update because it'll be pretty busy. I've got to go to Brisbane and then find out what they're going to do, well, what I give them permission to do, and come home and do all that sort of stuff. So as far as I know, it's just a day visit tomorrow. I'll be out again and come home on Friday and pick up some hemp products because they've got stock now. So that's really exciting. I can get back to doing my thing, get back to work a little bit and feel a bit more useful, make a little bit more money. And yeah, so things are looking positive at the moment, I hope. And I will be back to let you know what's going on, and obviously I will be bringing you along for the recovery and letting you know what's going on. And then hopefully if I get the okay to start doing some physical activity. I did get the okay to swim as long as I don't put weight on that side, but I will check with the what do you call those things? I always forget the names of doctors, specialists. It's not coming to me, and I've been saying it all week. Orthopedic. The orthopedic. I will be checking with the ortho about swimming because that was just like a hospital doctor that said it would be fine. But I will check with the bone specialist, the orthopedic surgeon, that is still okay. I imagine it would be because swimming is weightless, so I don't imagine there'd be any issue with that. And the plan is to go to Moree, to the hot springs, and really start this healing, throw everything at it, as I've been saying, and something hopefully will stick, and hopefully the good Lord will come to the party and heal me as well. So yeah, that's the ins and outs of everything at the moment. Not much happening. It's been very stagnant, which is why I haven't been on here, because I've actually been really unwell with these migraines. I've been back to hospital a couple of times, and yeah, it's been really traumatic and scary. So I haven't really updated you because there wasn't much to say and I wasn't very well, but I'm having a few good days after my massage treatment a couple of days ago, and hopefully with these new tablets and a new GP, which is good. She's young and fresh, and you know, I like the young doctors because they're sort of up with all the new stuff and they're not frightened of all my craziness. It took about 2 hours to go through everything, all my history and stuff today. So yeah, there's lots of medical stuff that goes on that people don't know about because I don't pay too much attention to it. I mean, I probably don't pay enough attention to it. A lot of people say that I'm very blasé about my health, which I'm not really. I do care about my health and I do work on it, but I try not to pay too much attention to it because I think the things that you pay attention to in life are the things that you attract. So I don't want to attract more unhealth. I don't want to attract more illness, more, more issues. I want to be as healthy as I can be for as long as I can be. And so that's why it might seem like I'm blasé and I don't care. It's not that at all. I do care, of course, and I want to get better, but I need to do that in my own way. And, some people find that hard to understand. Some people get offended by it even, which is a bit strange because it's not their body. It's my body and my choice. Doctors sometimes get a bit defensive even when I say no to certain things, because as patients we need to realise that we are in control most of the time, unless it's, something really terrible that we have and they have to intervene, like tuberculosis, for example, or coronavirus or whatever, something that they need to quarantine us or, do most of the time. We are in control and we have choices, and it's up to us sometimes to ask the difficult questions, to find out what the risks are, to find out, weigh everything up. Is this worth doing? Does it need to be done? If it doesn't get done, then what happens? What are the other options? Because sometimes doctors get a bit stuck in their ways and they only see one option, and you must do that because if you don't do that, there's nothing else. And, there's sort of, doctors are awesome healers as well. I have nothing against doctors, and I think they do want the best for us. I think sometimes they're led a bit by the drug companies, but that's not their fault, so to speak. And drug companies have their place too. But it's up to us as the patient, or us as human beings, to look after ourselves and to do the research and to ask the hard questions. And some doctors don't particularly like that because they feel like it's an attack on their intelligence or their position, and it's really not. It's just me looking after myself and trying to do the best that I can to stay as healthy as I can for as long as I can. And so far it's worked. And that's the thing. If it wasn't working, of course, I would change what I'm doing. But so far, obviously, until I fell off a horse, which wasn't a health issue in itself, apart from the fact that I broke myself. But if I didn't break myself, I wouldn't be unhealthy now because of the way that I live. I try to eat well and get lots of sleep and drink lots of water. Well, I do drink lots of water and I do eat pretty well. And I do get lots of sleep, and I don't drink alcohol. I don't have much caffeine, any caffeine really. I don't put things into my body that could have adverse effects because, I actually don't drink alcohol for a lot of reasons, but I don't like it either. But, I don't smoke. I don't put things into my body that could cause issues, because I want to experience things. I want to be here as long as I can, without suffering and without being unhealthy, and experience as much as I can, because I I love life most of the time. And I like experiencing new things. I like going out of my comfort zone. I'm not really the typical patient that just goes home and wraps herself in cotton wool or, bubble wrap and goes, oh, well, this is me. I give up, give me that wheelchair, give me that whatever. That's just not who I am, and it hasn't been since birth. My poor parents dealing with me as such a strong personality, they had no choice. I was just like that, I was always very set in my ways. If I wanted to do something, that was it. I went and did it, even if I was told not to by doctors. I've been told not to ride many, many times. And I've decided now that I'm not going to anymore. That's at the end of that experience in my life. I don't want to end up back here, so that's the end of that risk, because it's I sort of weigh it up. Is it worth the risk? And before it was, so I was a lot younger, and I fell off and broke my pelvis before, and it wasn't as bad as this break, but I've fallen off and hurt myself and all that sort of stuff and got back on. But I just decided that there's another experience that I want to do now, and it's got risk too, of course, but to me it's worth the risk. Whereas riding a horse, Cece and Penny were my best riding horses, and I enjoyed riding them, and they're gone now, and I sort of haven't got the drive, the get up and go. I love training horses, I love working with horses, but riding just hasn't, I just don't have the passion for it I used to have. So to me, it's not worth the risk. Whereas doing a triathlon, I've got this drive and this passion to do it. So it's worth risking possibly breaking myself while doing it, if that makes sense. And, people don't understand this sort of stuff. They go, oh, I wouldn't do that. I don't want to break, I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to end up in hospital ever again. I don't want to, but you could be as careful as you want and walk out on the street and get hit by a car. Life in itself is a risk. And I've been through a time where I couldn't leave my house because I had anxiety. And I've been through a time where I couldn't travel because of anxiety. And I've been through a time where I did want to end my life because of just feeling like I had no purpose and like no one really needed me, and, just all that sort of depression feeling. And I've been through all that, and life's there to be lived. So I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing or stop being who I am because other people can't handle it. And that includes professionals like doctors and things like that. They might try and stop me. Well, it's funny, the other day at hospital, the doctor actually said, oh, you could get back on a horse again if you wanted to. And I said, no, I don't really want to. And he said, oh, well, do you have quality of life? And I thought for a moment, and I said, well, I did before I fell off the horse. I did have quality of life. I loved life, and I still do love life, but it's hard at the moment because of this test. And this test happened for a reason, and I know that. And it's okay to stop riding now. It's okay to say that's the end of that chapter in my life, and something else is going to take over that. And lots of things had to happen to come to that realization. But yeah, he was actually quite a good doctor in the hospital that said, you need quality of life, otherwise what's the point, and that's very true. And a lot of doctors get so caught up in their little I don't know, I think most doctors, some controversialists will say, oh, doctors don't want you to be healthy because they want to make money out of you. I don't think that's the case with most doctors. I'm not speaking for all of them. I'm sure there's sharks out there that, but I think in general, they don't study to be doctors to make money out of people. I don't think that's, why would you go through that amount of study to make a hell of a lot of money when you don't really make, doctors make a lot of money, but not enough to justify that amount of work and that amount of study and that amount of just to make the money. To me, that doesn't make sense. I do believe that the drug companies aren't the greatest. They may not always have the best intentions, but they're an enterprise. They're not, I mean, they're run by people, but they're not a person with feelings and with emotions. And sometimes people that are a little bit, I don't know, they don't have the compassion or whatever, they're in it for themselves. They get into and run these enterprises. It's run by business people, and they know what they're doing in the business sense. And sometimes I think we all get caught up in it. But I also don't think that all the people that work at drug companies, so don't, go and put this on me, but I don't think they're all, I don't want to say badly driven, because that's not really the word, but I don't think they're all out to get us either. I think most of them do it with good intentions, and sometimes it's all about intention. So, I'm not here to hate on drug companies or to dig up dirt on, that. But I do think we need to be aware that they are companies. They're run by enterprises, just like supermarkets and, other retailers, basically. And they're there to sell us tablets. And, there's a place for tablets. Tablets can make us better. They can also make us worse. And I do believe that we are... Oh, my nose is so itchy. I do believe that we are deficient in a lot of minerals and a lot of things that our bodies need to stay healthy because of the food that we eat, which is another issue, because they all sort of tie in together, really. But we'll get into that later. That's half the reason why I've gone into growing my own food, but obviously that's going to take time before the trees give me fruit. It's going to take time. I haven't been in my garden much because I've been too sick, because I can't walk, so I can't really get into the garden much. So it's sort of turned into weeds. So, it's hard. But that's not to say once this heals, and I have full confidence that the good Lord will heal. It's a matter of timing. And when I am able to walk again and do things again, then I will get back into it. But certainly, I mean, the fire took out most of our garden and stuff, but most of it's back now. I've replanted, and the food forest down the back with all the fruit trees and everything is going really good. So yeah, anyway, that's enough for now. This is going to be a really long video, so I do apologise. It wasn't meant to be this long, but that's the update. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys what you think. Do you think I'm being complacent and don't give a crap? Maybe there's some issues that have come up while I'm talking that you've resonated with. Maybe there's some stuff that really triggers you and you think, what a crazy lady. That's okay. The doctor told me the other day that my brain's not normal. And he's probably right in more ways than one. And then he looked like I had two heads when I started laughing at him. So I don't think he expected that reaction. But he was actually a really nice doctor. And really, I could feel that he wanted me to get better. He wanted his patients to get better. And that's something I look for in a medical, any professional really. That they really... their soul's in it, like some people just do a job because that's the job that they studied for, or that's the job that they thought they wanted to do. And maybe it doesn't suit them in that time of their life or whatever, but their soul's just, you can feel it when their soul's just not in it. And that can be dangerous, especially in that field, because if their soul's not in it, then they don't really care if you get better or not. And some of them may not even want you to get better, like the conspiracy theorists have suggested. And I'm sure there are professionals of any kind out there that are like that don't really care about other people too much. But I could really feel, and the doctor today, their souls are in it. They really want their patients to get better. They really want health. They want, they don't want to see you. If that makes sense. And the money doesn't really come into it for them. They're in it because they want to make people better. They want to heal. And doctors can be the best healers, you know, because they've got access to stuff that heal. So I have nothing against them as healers. And there's some people that do massage that their souls aren't in it. There's some people that do naturopathy. I'm Australian, but I don't speak English. Naturopathy? I don't know. However you say that. Natural therapies. Their souls aren't in it, you know. There's people in all sorts of professions where their souls aren't in it, and they're the ones that you really need to be aware of and maybe keep away from, and sort of drift towards the ones that their souls are in it. And you can tell when someone really loves what they do and they really want you to get better, or they really want to help you, or whatever the profession is, you know, you can tell when their heart is in it, when their soul is in it, as opposed to someone that may not really care. And that's important to me. I always look for that in anyone that I deal with that's doing something for me as in their professional role, regardless of what that is, teachers, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to go now. See ya.